Good evening, everybody. Teal here with Inspire Me 360. Hope everybody had a wonderful day. In this episode, I just wanted to talk about, the importance of family, relationships, friends, whatever it might be, and the concept of time and kind of how that works, or at least my experience with it. So, just over the past couple of weeks, it's really kind of hit me of how fast time really does fly. We're in 2024, feeling old and feeling good. But that's not the concept of this. It's more so the time that we spend with the people that we love most. And obviously we don't get to choose, how long we're going to be here for, as well as everybody else around us. Nobody's more lucky than anybody else. Now, it's really hit me in a sense because I'm having all these memories of being a kid, or I'm having all these memories about my dog and stuff like that. He's still alive, but he's, getting old and stuff like that, and that's hitting me as well. And my grandparents are getting really old, and, I'm getting old, and everybody's just getting old, and time's just like getting faster and faster. And I feel like I've always been told that the older you get, the faster time flies. And it's maybe just a mental thing, but it really does feel like that. Like these past couple of months that I've been here has felt like that. It's felt like eternities, like years and years that I've been here, but the time has flown like that. And it's been an amazing time and stuff, but I just kind of wanted to go over the importance of establishing your relationship with your friends and your family and everybody, and maybe putting a little bit more time into those things, because, can buy everything that we want, all the material things, all the resources, but you can't buy time. And that's the biggest thing, is like when you're a kid and you have those memories with your parents or your grandparents or your friends or whatever it is, it's just a memory that's in your head. And we have photos, we have videos, we have all these different things, but it's not the same, it's not like that physical see, touch feeling. And it's just like really important for me to kind of like remember those things. And that's why I really wanted to get into film and production as a kid, because I really wanted to remember things. I felt like my memory as a kid was not really that good. So I found when I take pictures and videos and stuff like that it would really help, re-jog those memories, and I can be like, oh yeah, we did that, or oh yeah, that happened, and stuff like that. So that's why, pictures are very, very important to me. No matter where I go, I'm always taking photos. I have a Polaroid camera, the one that prints the digital copies and stuff like that. And I just think it's so fascinating because, only, I don't know how many years ago, I don't want to go off and say, it was 40, 50 or whatever years ago, but, not too long ago, there wasn't really the capabilities of FaceTime and videoing and quality of photos and stuff like that. And it's just so fascinating now that we have that, and it's such a blessing in a way too, because it scares me when I get older to forget those things. And I already have forgotten some of those things, like there'll be something where my dad will bring something up. I'll be like, oh yeah, that happened, but if he wasn't here, the memory slips right out of your brain, like you don't even remember it. And I think it's important to always keep creating new ones, but to just go back to those friendships and relationships, and to discuss those good times, and to, discuss those memories and stuff that you had back then, because, I think that's the only thing we really have at the end of the day. We don't get to leave with our materialistic things. We don't get to leave with the money. We don't get to leave with the cars or whatever it is. All we really do have is our memories at the end of the day, and I think that's the most important thing. And it's really hit me because, whether it's a little bit of, homesick and stuff like that, obviously, and I haven't seen certain people and family and stuff in a little bit now, and I'm so used to seeing them every day back home, and after a couple months you're like, oh shoot, it's been a while, and it's a little disheartening because you realize, like, you're on the completely opposite side of the world, and yeah, you can FaceTime and stuff like that, but it's not the same, you know. You can't give them a hug and stuff like that. You can't physically see them, and it really does hit you after a couple of months out here. I think it's important, whether you're going through some tough times with your relationships, you know, parents is one of the biggest one, friendships, whatever it is, to reconsider some of those feelings and thoughts that you have with those people, and to reestablish those things. You know, shit happens, right? Nobody's perfect. I don't think I came from a perfect family. I don't think I'm perfect by any means. But I think it's very important to keep an open relationship with those people, whether it's my mom, you know, and personally, I don't talk to her that much. I haven't talked to her in, I think, 4 years now. And she sends texts and stuff like that sometimes, and I text her back, but, you know, I haven't physically seen her in probably 6 or 7 years, and we haven't had a real conversation in like 4 years. Still love her to death, still would talk to her. It's just very hard to get a hold of her. You just can't get those memories back, and I think every memory is important, whether it's good or bad. Those are the lessons, you know. You learn something from each and every single person that you've met in your life. You've learned something from each and every situation in your life, and I don't think it's something that we should take for granted. But it's just really hit me in these past couple of weeks, and I know I keep saying that over and over again. I don't want to run in circles and stuff like that, but I just really want to reiterate the importance of talking to the people that you care about the most, checking in on people, you know, seeing if they're okay and stuff like that. Whatever you want to call it, mental illness, anxiety, whatever it is, it's a thing. You know, as much as we like to ignore it and say, oh, it's just a thought, a feeling or whatever, that'll blow over. You know, we still get it. I get it all the time. I have it right now, even doing this video. I get anxiety and stuff like that. It's a really tough concept for me because my anxiety, like even as a kid and stuff, has just been like through the walls, and I've been coming up with, you know, tools and strategies, and other people teaching me certain ways to deal with it and stuff like that. But when you're going through your head and your thoughts and stuff, I think that's your own worst enemy. And it can really become dangerous too, because, you know, every single day you gotta keep your mindset at a certain level and your frequencies and vibrations at a certain level. And if you start to get in your head and your thoughts and this anxiety and feelings and stuff like that, it can really bring you down. So I think it's really important to look at that and understand why you feel the way you do, and why things happen, and they happen for a reason and stuff like that. But I feel like one of the biggest reasons why I have anxiety right now is because maybe it's a sense of guilt. Maybe, you know, I feel like I should have talked to more people back home before I left, or I should have, you know, seen my grandparents more, or, you know, reached out to my mom or something like that. And, you know, that stuff really does eat you alive, but, you know, we can't control that stuff. We can only focus on today and stuff and going forward. If we try and focus on the past and things that we could have, should have done, then, you know, that's where this anxiety and all this different stuff comes from. It's really tough too, because like a lot of the things I want to talk about, I feel it, but I feel like I can't get the words out. I feel like maybe a lot of people, you know, feel like the same thing when they're like, you know, stuck in their head anxiety. They're just like, oh my god, the emotions and stuff like that. And, you know, not much we can control, but there's ways to deal with it, and there's ways to cope with it. Essentially, you know, steering away from, you know, drugs, alcohol, and addiction's the biggest one. I think it's the easiest thing to do. If you want to hide from your family, if you want to hide from the people you love, if you don't want to deal with your situation, it's easy to just, you know, pick up some drugs or some alcohol and completely forget it. It's a band-aid. I get it. I understand it. But the hardest part is to physically deal with it completely sober and understand it and move on from it. Once you do it and start doing it, of course, it becomes easier. But if you're dealing with past traumas from relationships that you never ever dealt with, or you're dealing with current ones and stuff like that, but the importance of it is to not just go and hide from it and not deal with it, because I see so many people now in personal relationships that I know that are now just hiding from everything, you know, their mothers, fathers, kids, whatever it is. And it's quite scary to see, because you can see somebody who's on top of the world yesterday, and the next day they're at the very, very bottom. And I find that so fascinating, because no matter where you are in life, no matter how successful you are in life, no matter how much you've done, you have to keep that same energy, same balance, same mentality every day. And of course it's a struggle, you know, you're expecting yourself to feel, you know, like $1 million every single day. It's a process that I'm still teaching myself, and it is difficult. I just find it so crazy though to see people that I personally know that were on top, and now they're completely hiding from their entire life, not talking to anybody, you know, pushing those feelings so deep, eating them alive, and just doing drugs to completely hide from themselves, not dealing with those things. I think the most important thing, and basically the topic of this conversation, is communication and being able to talk about things, being able to talk on camera or talk to somebody about how you're feeling, because everybody's going to feel some shit. You know, life's not perfect, of course, and if we think, oh, you know, we're warriors, we can do it on our own, we don't need to talk to anybody about it, then, you know, we become our own worst enemies, of course, because the only person we have to talk to is ourselves. Then, of course, we're going to become our biggest fear, and we're going to become our biggest enemy. So I think it's so important with friendships, relationships, family, to have an open communication. Talk to them about things. Don't hide things, you know. And it's tough. There's sometimes, you know, you don't want to tell people certain things, and some things maybe are better left unsaid. But the more that you go throughout your life with secrets, with situations that you never ever dealt with, traumas, whatever it is, and you hold those things in, they start to eat you alive. And it's easy to just, you know, oh, I start doing some drugs and I don't have to deal with the situation, it makes me feel better, I don't have to think about it, I don't get anxiety or whatever. But it also makes you feel alive, because when you're dealing with those situations and you're able to talk about them and you're able to cope with the anxiety and stuff, that truly means you are alive, you are a living being, you have emotions. You know, it's okay to be fearful, it's okay to be sad, be happy, be mad, be angry. Do it, you know, but be open about it. Don't hide from the world, you know. I myself struggle with that a lot, especially in the past, where it's just be so much easier to fake it till I make it, or to act like somebody and not to hide from the rest of the world, because I don't want people to know, you know, that I was diagnosed with ADD, or I was in the hospital and had to go to school there, or, you know, whatever it is. But I think once we just start being ourselves and, you know, not saying not give a damn, but like just, who cares, you know, just be yourself. Do what you would do in a private room, in person, around everybody, you know. And it's tough, it takes a lot of practice, because if you're so used to pretending to be somebody you're not, then of course it's going to be hard when you go and try to be yourself in front of your family, your friends, and everything like that as well. So, and it's a double-edged sword too, because you don't want to say, oh yeah, I do this, and this, and then all of a sudden you're getting judged, you're getting this, and that by your parents, your friends, your family, or whatever. But it depends the reason and the cause you're doing it, of whatever situation you're in. So if you're doing a whole bunch of drugs and you're hiding and you're not telling anybody, or you go and tell everybody you're doing it, well, there has to be a reason why you're doing it, right? Same with alcohol, same with everything else. If you're doing something illegal, if you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Essentially, I do believe everybody has a good soul. It has something in there that is like a child, because everybody in their life has been a child, and a child's innocence, everybody's had it before, a baby's innocence, or whatever you want to call it. I think through time and stuff like that, people just, especially as older people, don't feel like they can talk about their emotions and relationships and everything. That's why you see divorce rates so high. That's why you see, relationships with kids and their parents not good at all, because the parents are too scared to tell their kids anything, and then the kids are too scared to tell their parents anything, and it just goes back and forth. So I don't want to loop this over and over and over again, but I just want to create, the importance of open communication, and talk to your parents, talk to your friends, talk to your loved ones, work on those relationships, because that's all we got at the end of the day. It's our memories. You don't want to die with any regrets, because that would be the worst thing. It fears me a lot to actually die with regrets. That's why I try and live life to the fullest every single day, and I feel like I'm young, but I'm definitely an old soul, and I might have been here a couple times before this lifetime, but I feel like each one that I've lived, I've learned a little bit. I've learned a little bit, learned a little bit, learned a little bit. Now I've gotten to the point where, I'm ascending to the next level, to higher consciousness, whatever you want to call it. And it feels good, because I don't have to pretend to be somebody I'm not. I don't have to fake it, I'm here talking to you guys and stuff, just shooting the shit. Yeah. So I'll keep it at that for today. I'll probably maybe add a part 2 to this, because I kind of got a little bit into some different topics and stuff. So I'm going to rewatch the video, because I definitely want to talk about some other things related to these topics in a part 2. So thank you guys so much for watching this video of Inspire Me 360. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. It's St. Patrick's Day as well, so luck is in the air. Hope you all have the best weekend. We do post videos almost every single day, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you like the video, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.